everyone, I am Siddharth Kumar Jha and I welcome you all in the very first lecture of machine learning course. So today we are going to talk about what is machine learning, the types of machine learning, and we will see the difference between our AI, ML and DL, deep learning. Okay, so let's start with the definition of machine learning. So, machine learning is a method where computer learn from data without being explicitly programmed. Okay, so let's understand what is traditional programming and why we need machine learning. Okay, so in the traditional programming, we are giving the input and we are assigning some rules, and then it gives you some output. But in the machine learning, we are giving some input plus output and machine learn the rules by itself. Okay. So let's understand with an example. Suppose you have to predict where the email is spam or not. So traditionally, what we are doing, we are assigning the rules like how the email can be an spam categorized or not spam categorized. Okay. But in the machine learning, what we are doing, we are giving the n number of spam and not spam email to our machine so that machine can understand it and in future when we are input the new email so that it can categorize whether it is spam or not spam. So I hope this overall concept is clear. So let's move further. So the next one is the comparison between the AI, ML, and DL. Okay. So the first one is AI. AI means artificial intelligence. So artificial means you can say man-made, okay, which is made by humans. And intelligence means thinking power. So man-made thinking power, when we are combining it, then it's called it as artificial intelligence. Okay. So you can see here I have written machine behaving like a humans. This is called artificial intelligence. For example, you can say robot and in your video game you are playing like in your video game you can see an example of bot. Okay, so this all are AI. And the next one is machine learning. So machine learning is nothing but the subset of artificial intelligence. Okay, so as the image you can see here, so the blue region is the whole region is artificial intelligence, and machine learning, the green region, is the subset of the AI. Okay, and the next one is deep learning. So deep learning again, it's a subset of machine learning. In this, we are using the neural network. Okay, so don't worry. In the further lecture, I will explain all of that in very detail. So I hope this comparison between AI, ML, and DL is very clear to you. So let's move further. So the next one is the type of machine learning. So basically, there are three types of machine learning is. So the first one is supervised learning, and the second one is unsupervised learning, and third one is reinforcement learning. So first of all, we will understand what is supervised learning. So in this, we are using the labeled data. So labeled data means we are giving the input plus output, and based on the input and output, model predicts some rules, and it will give the output to the unseen input. Okay. So for an example, suppose we are making a model for house price prediction. Okay. So in this, what we will do, we will give a data set in which it contain like the area where the house is and the size of that house, like 3 BHK, 2 BHK, and and security. So based on these three input, we will give some price. Okay, like if the location is Bangalore and the size is 3 BHK and there is a high security, you will be provided, and one security guard is there. So the cost is 2 crore or 3 crore, maybe like that. Okay. So we are giving the input and the output also. And if in future we will give some other input, like I need one room in Bangalore and the size should be 2 BHK and there is there is no security, so it will give you the price prediction. Like if you will go with this feature, it will cost you so much amount. Okay, so like this, the supervised learning work. So the next one is the unsupervised learning. So in this, non-labeled data is used. So suppose for an example, we are giving the data as a 2, 4, 8, 6, 18. So, and the count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, in future, if I will give input as 18, so it will give me the output as 36 because it will automatically understand the relationship between the data. So, the first data was 2, and after that, we have given the 4 and 6 and 8. So, it automatically see like the first one is twice of the next one, and the next one is twice of the next. Okay. So like this, it automatically identify the rules. Okay. And it find the hidden pattern between the data and it gives the output. Okay. So for example, you can understand it as a customer segmentation. So the next one is your reinforcement learning. So the reinforcement learning basically works on the reward and penalties system. Okay. So in this, what happened? You are performing some task, and based on the task, you are getting some plus point or some minus point, some rewards or some penalty. Okay, so you are understanding it by yourself, and by the next time you are finding the pattern. Okay, I will move like this, then I will get the plus point, and I will move like this, I will get a minus point. So always you are moving as a plus point only. Okay, so for example, you can understand like self-driving cars or game. Okay, so these all comes under the reinforcement learning. So the next one, uh, yeah, from here you can understand the overall types of machine learning. So here in supervised, we are giving the data with labels, and here you can see we are applying the supervised learning so that it map our data and it will give you the output. And in the unsupervised, we are giving the data without labels and it categorized into the classes. Okay. And the next one is the reinforcement, where I told you it's work on the rewards and penalty. So in this there is some state and action. So on which state you are performing which action, and based on that action you are getting the plus point or the minus point, and like that it will give you the output. Okay. So let's move further. The real world applications of machine learning. Okay. So the very common is your recommendation system. So in your Netflix or your YouTube, you have seen like the content you will like more or you will watch more, it will suggest you the same. So it works on the machine learning. And the next one is you can see it in your email. So just I have shown you like whether the email is spam or not spam. There we can use the machine learning. And in bank also we can use to detect the fraud. Okay. And in your Alexa or Siri, in your voice assistant, you can see the example of machine learning. And in your self-driving car, you can see the example of machine learning. Okay. So now you will tell me in the self-driving car which machine learning technique is used. Okay. Just comment it down. So that's all for the today's video. If you guys has really enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video so that you can get the upcoming lectures also, which will help you to enhance your skills in machine learning. So see you in the next one. Tab tak ke liye keep learning and keep exploring. Bye bye.